Member for Petrie.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Mr Deputy Speaker, I rise today to talk about this matter of public importance. And I say quickly to the member for Fowler before he leaves the chamber that last week I was out there in my electorate every day talking to people, doing mobile offices, every night of the week out explaining our position and what this budget is all about. Now the opposition say today that this budget is about hurt and division. They say it's an unfair budget. Well, I'm here to say that that isn't true. This budget is about a number of things. Most importantly, it is about repaying and tackling Australia's debt and deficit problem. It is about ensuring that our welfare system is sustainable long into the future. And of course, it is about building and investing in record infrastructure in this country. And when you look at the debt and deficit issue, we know that in the last 6 years of the Labor governments, that out of all the tax they collected from people throughout this country, all the income tax that they received from everyone working here in this place and throughout the country, through all the company tax that they received throughout this country, well, they spent all of that in the last 6 years, plus another $200 billion. $191 billion in deficits in the last 6 years, and they left us another $123 billion in the forward estimates. And my father, he always said to me, he said, "Son, if you're going to get a loan, if you're going to borrow money, then you need to ensure that you budget for a 10% interest rate." Now, $191 billion, that's $19 billion a year in interest. Well, thankfully, we've got a bit better interest rate than that, and we're only paying $1 billion a month. We're only paying $12 billion a month. And, you know, one of the members today spoke about the ABC, and for the people listening, if you put that into perspective, the ABC runs on an entire budget of $1 billion a year, and that's what we're paying in interest alone. I mean, $12 billion in interest alone is enough to fund 12 ABCs. Imagine what we could do with that money if we weren't left with your legacy of debt and deficit. And I must say that the opposition leader, nor the member for Fowler, the member for Scullin, Chisholm or Richmond mentioned $1 in which they would save when they bring down their budget should they get back into power. Mr Deputy Speaker, it is of course about ensuring that our welfare system is sustainable, and the opposition leaders today said that no support for young people who are under 30 in this budget. No support. Well, I want to say stop scaring people. Stop scaring people. There are lots of safety nets in our budget. We live in Australia, the greatest country on earth, and that those people that are doing it tough, that are on disability, that are unemployed, that have a mental illness, of course there's safety nets. For those single mums that have a child, of course there is safety nets. There are welfare payments. But the days of leaving Year 12 and going onto the dole a month later, those days are gone. And, Mr Deputy Speaker, of course this budget is about infrastructure. We're building in my electorate. We're upgrading the Bruce Highway, every intersection, I think, between Bald Hills and Caloundra, right up to the member for Fisher's seat. We're upgrading the Gateway Motorway. We're investing in infrastructure to get people moving and to get small business moving, because on this side of the House we believe in lower taxes, smaller government. We believe that small business are the ones that employ people in this country, not government. And by investing in infrastructure, those small businesses will be able to get moving. And, Mr Deputy Speaker, I just sum up by saying that, and the member says, well, who built the rail line? I'm happy to say that the Moreton Bay rail link will be funded, and I acknowledge that you guys wanted to build it, and it had bipartisan support. But what I would say is that our government, the Abbott government, is funding it. That's right. $108 million in this year's budget, $200 million on the next. But I'd say that the members opposite talk about division. Well, it's the members opposite that want to divide this country, workers against employers, rich against poor, haves against have-nots. And I say that this isn't good enough. We're all people. We're all people in this nation, and we want to see everyone become aspirational. We want everyone to do their best, and this budget is part of that measure to do that. A better future for all Australians.
I thank the member for